And here is the card that I've chosen to hold the back piece in place. So we've got these open and open, and then this card is going to hold it in place. And I am going to, I believe I'm going to use a ribbon to keep this card closed. So I haven't attached the backing yet because I think I'm going to add a piece of ribbon, just so you know. And right now I got to step away and go get the rest of my papers so we can lay down these design features as well as the back. Okay, we're on to page 8. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and then we're going to lay down the first panel, which is actually going to lay right down on top of the actual pocket page. So I'm just dry fitting it real quick. It looks good. I'm going to go ahead and get some glue on that and get it laid down. And then we'll work on these flaps. There we go. This is a very snug fit, and I'm just making sure I am clear of the score lines so that these flaps operate correctly, and I am. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, I have to go back and look at the front, yeah. I am going to use these on the very top, so I'm going to get these in. And I can't remember if I split this page. Yeah, it looks like I did. So I want to make sure that they're in the right orientation. And you can see this guitar violin is split in half. So it's going to go this direction. So looks like they're inked. I'm going to dry fit them real quick. And then I'm going to get them laid down. And I was just double checking to make sure I'd actually hit the record button, and I did. So these are going to go in very quickly, and then we're going to put in the back liner, and that will be the end of the inside of the album, and then I'll come back and do the outside layers. I need to get my cap on my glue. It's drying out on me. Let me get my pick. Okay. And you can try to get away with 2 magnets here, but it's a lot of paper weight to try to hold in place. So that's why I went ahead and chose 4 and used the ephemera card to keep it closed. And I'm pretty happy with that design. A little extra glue there. I'm just trying to make sure I'm out of the score line and gusset so that my paper doesn't peel up on me later. It looks like I need a little dab of glue on that corner. Yeah. Just a dot. Hold it down. Or maybe here too. A lot of times when I'm done with my album, I will go back through and do my double check all my corners because sometimes I don't get glue all the way to the corners, and that can be a problem long term. If I catch it while I'm working on it, great, but it's a good idea after you're done to go through with a fresh set of eyes and look at all your edges and make sure that nothing's trying to peel up on you. Okay, that looks gorgeous. I'm so happy with that look. And then again, this will be the piece that holds everything in place, but I still have to figure out a mechanism to keep this closed. And like I said, I think it's going to be a ribbon at the bottom, but I'm not sure. Okay, so that is the outside. There's our inside. So we need something here and on the inside. And I am going to go back and look at my front page because I like to have symmetry and try to remember what I did. Yeah, I did stripes first. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my stripes on the outside. Of course, these are bigger stripes. They're wider. They're not the thin stripes. But I still like the look of it. And I did not ink my edges, which I will do right now. Okay, so that is the look. And I'm just checking all my margins. It looks good before I get some glue on it and put it down. Okay, I like it. I like it, I like it. I'm very excited to get going on the Prima project. I've not worked with their paper before, so I'm anxious to get a handle on it and see what it's like. It's very different for me after Graphic 45 all these years. It's much, much lighter. But I expect I'm going to do a fair amount of layering. Since I don't have a lot of color to work with, it's a very pale collection, hence the name, pretty pale. I'm going to have to, I think, create interest through texture and layering. So we'll see. It'll be different for me. I've gotten so used to Graphic 45 and all the colors and so many pattern choices. You know, you can have so many different patterns just on one page. So this will be, like I said, different for me, but I'm looking forward to it. All right, that's it. So those two panels are done. So we still have two more panels on the insides here. And I have some papers, but I have to decide the orientation. So I'm sure I had a plan before, but I have to redesign it right now on the fly because I forgot. And they're not labeled. And that does not have enough glue. You can see that corner's popping up right there. It's funny, I've either got too much glue or not enough today. Okay, that's in place now. All right. Okay, so I've got two full panels, which I think I'm going to do this way, and then two half panels, which I don't know what I want to do with. Maybe I'll do that. I actually like the red better. So this, and then what's the back side? Do I like that? Not really. Not really. So I could do that and this. Or this. Nope. Definitely like this better. And I think I like, okay. So that is that. So we are definitely going to put the tan as close to the pattern as possible. And it looks like I inked these, so I'm gonna double check dry fit and then get these laid down. Okay, it's good. There. Let me turn this sideways. Okay. I'll go ahead and close that. And switch sides. Okay, looks good. Okay, that's in. All right, so now the last part of this page, we have to add something to these two panels. So I like the red, so I'm definitely gonna go with the red on the bottom. Make sure these are the same size. They are not. How did that happen? Right height, two different widths. So I'm going to trim this down real quick. Just make sure they're the same size. They are now. And one of these has a raw edge. There it is. All right, so let's get this down. Okay, just double checking that the sizes are the same. They are. Okay, let's get some contrast paper under here. There we go. Slide that into place. Looks good. Okay, so I still need to put something on the top, and I had these pieces trimmed out, but I don't really like the look of that, I don't think. So I'm going back and forth here, trying to decide. It's just too, well, I guess if I put a strip in between, it'll be okay. Yeah, okay, I like that. But these need to be trimmed down. Back, and I have trimmed out these pieces. I'm going to add some ink and then get these laid down. And then I am going to add a decorative strip across the center here, which I think will pull this design together. But I'm going to do that in the embellishment phase. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm going to come back and add embellishments to every page. But I like to get my main papers down first, just because there's so much stuff floating around. I think it really makes it easier to focus, rather than trying to do one complete page before you move to the next. And when I say complete, I mean including any ephemera or embellishments that you want to add. Some people do it the other way. They don't move to the next page until they're completely finished. I find that when I do that, I oftentimes have very front-loaded ephemera and embellishments because I run out. I'm a terrible planner. Okay, and like I said, I'm gonna come back and it probably won't be just a red strip, but there'll be a strip that runs across the center here, and I think it pulls that design together. And I've got a couple other places in the book where I'm gonna do something similar. Okay, so page 8 is, with the exception of finishing the top card and how it's gonna close, page 8 is done. And now on to the back liner. So the back liner is gonna be just like the front. And I'm gonna show it to you real quick. So there it is. It's a waterfall feature on top of this striped paper. So I am gonna push it off to the side a little bit. And part of the reason I did that is so that this can open freely without hitting the waterfall feature, okay? So I'm gonna do the same thing in the back. And this time I'm going to remember to put down my magnets first. So last time I installed the striped paper before I knew where I was going to put my magnet. So this time I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and place my waterfall feature onto the pattern paper, figure out my magnet situation, and then put the liner on the back panel. So with that, I'm gonna have to stop again because I don't have any oh yes I do. I do have some magnets in here. Okay, so I know I want to have a magnet, but I don't have any tape. So I do have to stop for a second. Okay. So I've got a little guideline here and I've got my dot on where I want to start. So my waterfall is going to go right here. And because I have a stripe, I can actually use that stripe to help me lay down the waterfall. All right. Okay, there's one. And last time I did it differently. I covered each one of the waterfalls, then I laid it down, and I realized after this is a better way, mostly because I need to place some magnets. And so by leaving the mats off, I give myself some options on where I can place the magnets. Once I put the mats on, kind of hard to get a magnet in. Okay. Okay, last one. And I'm just lining it off the pattern on the paper. I put a guide on the top as to where the first one is supposed to start. Everything else I'm just doing off the line on the paper. If it was a different pattern, I might have gone to the trouble of actually adding a reference line to the side. Okay, so I know I want all these things to stay closed. I've taken the sticky off of that one. I want them to stay closed. I don't want the paper to buckle. So I know I need one on the top, and I know I need one on the bottom. So let's see if it'll actually go through all those papers. My guess is it won't. Well, it did. I'm surprised. But it's not very strong. There we go. All right, so I know I'm going to have to add another magnet on the inside because once I get, once I get all the matte paper in, it's going to be too thick for these two magnets. So there needs to be at least one more magnet. In the Waterfall. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to put one more magnet somewhere in between. Here and here. There we go. There. And it's staying nice and flat. Perfect. There we go. All right, now, a little bit of excess glue. Now I can go ahead and put in my mats. Shoot, I left the lid off my glue again. There's a lot of junk. A lot of junk on my table right now, so I'll get some of that out of the way. I'm gonna get the rest of, oh, here it is. Let's see, where's the rest of my mats? Okay, here's my mat. So we know we want a floral pattern on top. And then we're going to do a print, then floral pattern, print, floral pattern. All right. I'm trying to be very careful because last time I did one of these mats and it slipped before the glue dried, and that did not look good at all. Okay, this looks good. This is on straight. Just pushing around the grommet. Make sure everything's down. Okay, now we want one of these. Okay. So for this design element, I used the regular tags, Graphic 45 regular tags is what they call them. I actually refer to them as rectangular because they have a square, they have a really long one, and they have this one. And I just scored a 1/2 inch off the bottom of the tag. And then when I was trimming, die cutting these pieces, I used a die cut, and then I would lay down the pattern, and then I just trimmed it at the 1/2 inch mark because the mats need to be a little bit shorter because of that, because of the flange that I used for the Waterfall. So it's just die cut, and then I just trim a 1/2 inch off the bottom. Good idea to stack your paper in the order that you want to lay them down so you don't do what I just did. Not the end of the world, but I really did want to alternate the patterns. Thank goodness I didn't wait too long. I could recover. Okay, now this goes here. I have to reapply some, and it came up pretty good with the exception of where the tape was around the magnet. but it's just the underside, so the top pattern is still completely intact, as you can see. All right, let's wiggle this into place. There we have it. So there's my alternating pattern. All right, so now we're actually ready to lay down the whole panel. So let's go to the back of the book. Here we go. I'm going to brush it off real quick just to make sure there's no debris, because I've got a ton of glue on my hands. All right, so it's going to go into the album this way. There we go. And it just clears just as we planned. Okay. I'm going to turn it sideways because I really want these two edges to be nice and crisp. I'm adding a little extra glue to the tape so that if I need to slide the page, the tape won't grab before I'm ready to make a commitment. There's a lot of weight on this page, so feel free to use your adhesive liberally. And I'm double checking to make sure I have it right side up, and I do. And that clears. That was important. We did it. Okay, it is in. And I'm just going through and varnishing with my hands. Burnishing, not varnishing, burnishing. Okay, that is it. We are finished with the inside of the Love Notes 8.5 by 8.5 mini album. And then I've still got a couple more details to cover, but I will be doing that in the next video. When I come back, I'll do the cover, the spine, and go over some of the embellishments. All right? Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed putting it together. There's my centerpiece. I look forward to completing the album in my next video. And thanks for watching.